TYT. I don't know. I was trying to rhyme. I got nothing. Anyway, so the Young Turks is still lying about democracy. Oh, we don't have a democracy. If we had a real democracy, then this, that, that. So their latest video, they're talking about this shooting. Some crazy woman who legally got guns, AR-15, of course, an assault rifle. That's not what it means. Shut up. So she goes in with this assault rifle. Joke's on me. Anyway, she goes in with this AR-15 and she shoots up the place. I guess, I don't remember the exact details. This is not those videos about, but I think 2 people got hit. There were some police officers in the church that shot her and killed her. But this video is not about the shooting. This video is about this. We don't have a democracy. Let me explain how nonsensical that is using an analogy. I think I'm good at analogies. So here's an analogy for this logic of us not having a democracy and how the democracy works versus the explanation for, why there's so much popular, support for, certain gun control measures and they're not getting done. The people want this, and yet the government just does whatever. So we don't have a democracy, clearly. No. Unless you don't understand what democracy is and how it works. I always say this. You might as well call it my tagline. I've said this so many times over the years on this channel. Democracy is not automatic. Democracy is self-service. It's power from the people. We, the people, are in the driver's seat of this democracy. But simply being in the driver's seat does not make you a driver, or does not get you to work, right? You can't just get up in the morning and sit in your driver's seat of your car and then magically get to work. You have to actually start the car, put it in drive, steer the wheel, navigate. There's a process. But most Americans, this is not the analogy for the, going after TYT, but this is an analogy for this. You can't just sit in the car and get to work. There's a process that you have to do to actually get there, right? But the way the American people are, many people are, and they're surprised. I don't understand, why does it work? Because that's not how democracy works. Voting, if all you do is vote, you're wasting your time, right? Voting is only the first step. That is you getting in the car and sitting here. Okay, let's get to work. Oh man, I don't have a real car. This car doesn't do anything. No, you gotta do it, man. We're the ones in control. The government works for us. We're the boss. We're the ones that have the power. Democracy requires us to pressure the politicians. You don't pressure people by just automatically voting for Democrats, automatically voting for Republicans, just somebody saying, I'm gonna do all these wonderful things, and then you just go and vote and just hope that they do it. That's not democracy, right? That is an automatic system. Democracy is not an automatic system. So my analogy to explain how ridiculous the Young Turks are when they keep saying, we don't have a democracy, right? So imagine that democracy is, and let me set a good example. If I'm going to go here telling people how it works and what it is and what it ain't, I should set an example by wearing my seatbelt. Anyway, so imagine if the government gave everyone brand new, top of the line BMWs, right? We all get these letters in the mail, right? The government, due to our success, whatever it is, we would like to reward all citizens with everyone's getting you got a BMW, everybody's getting a BMW, right? We get the letter in the mail from the government saying everyone's getting a BMW, right? Everyone's excited. Oh, we're all getting BMWs, yeah, right? But what does the letter say? First of all, most people don't read the letter. All they read is the beginning. You're getting a BMW, and they celebrate. Yeah, BMW, we're getting free cars. They don't read the full letter. They just read the beginning. That is the first part of how democracy works, right? People read enough to know that there's this thing where we can vote for stuff and then our representatives, they go and they make it happen, right? That's the top of the letter saying, you're getting a free BMW. They read that far and they're excited. This is great. So all I got to do is vote and they're going to just do the stuff, right? That's only the beginning of the letter. Keep reading about how democracy works. It's not automatic. You don't just vote and go home. If that's what you do, you're wasting your time, and that's the explanation why you're not getting what you expect from our government. Because democracy is power from the people. We're in the driver's seat. We've got to turn the key. We've got to step on the gas. We got to navigate. You got to actually get to your destination. You can't just sit your ass in a car and expect to get somewhere. But back to the analogy. We get the letter. It says free BMW. Most people just read that part and then they stop. There's some other details in the letter. What are they missing? In the letter, it says that in order to get the BMWs, right, for everyone, 34% of the people that receive this letter, I mean, everyone's getting the letter, but 34% of the people, right, you have to walk to the nearest BMW dealer. You have to literally walk there, present the letter, and you will get rewarded with the BMW, right? So, well, how does it fail? How does it that a majority of people want a certain thing and our government does whatever? Oh, we don't have a democracy, it's not working. How does that happen? How does a government in earnest offer us all BMWs and somehow people are like, where's the BMW? I don't see it. Okay. First of all, you have a big group of people that only read the top of the letter, got excited, I'm getting a car! So they don't see the part about the 34% of people have to take this letter and walk to your closest dealership to present it. They don't see that part, right? So they're not even aware, they just clueless. They think it's just, you get the letter, you get the car. No, read the thing. It's not even a long letter. So it's not that it's complicated, but you got to take a second to actually understand how the process works, right? So that's number one. Then you have another group of people who, and this is a pretty large group of people, right? Who they see the letter about we're getting BMWs, right? But then they got a lot of noise getting in between them and this letter and their new car, right? You have opportunists online who make a living, right, trying to get your attention and get you to watch their videos, right, who are on there saying, it's a scam, nobody's getting BMWs, we heard it's a whole scam, if you get the letter, just throw it out, it's all a scam, right? So not only do they not understand the process because they didn't read the full letter, they're getting misinformation from people online that are making money, saying whatever it is to get their attention. TYT, we don't have a democracy, we don't have a democracy. Okay, you know what? If the people that watch TYT understood how democracy works and actually did what is required, a lot of stuff would be getting done, things would be a lot better, and therefore TYT would go out of business. Who the hell is watching the Young Turks or any of these partisan media channels when the country's running smooth, right? When the government is actually functioning the way it's functioning? That is bad for business. What the hell are you going to be watching politics for when everything is smooth, right? When you don't have to worry about healthcare, when you're making good money, right? Everyone's making good money. Even if you do a basic job, you ain't gonna have a lot of money to be buying all kind of nice things, but you can afford rent, right? You can afford to feed your family. If everybody, not everybody, I mean somebody's gonna have an issue, but if an overwhelming majority of people are able to live their lives, just working a regular job, or if you want a lot of fancy things, you got to work some fancy job. But the bottom line is people can be comfortable with housing, with healthcare, right? Then why the hell are you watching TYT? What are they going to be talking about? What is there to talk about when the government is functioning? So it is within their best interest to spread this message. And I'm not saying that this is why they're doing it, but it just so happens it's in their best interest to spread this doomer message of we don't have a democracy. So what the hell is the point? If we don't have a democracy, what is the point of all of this? Why should we vote for anybody? Why should we engage? Why should we be involved? The whole point of democracy is our ability to change things and improve things. But if you're saying we don't have a democracy, then there's no point. Why vote for Bernie? Why vote for whoever? It's all irrelevant. The politicians gonna just do whatever, and they're gonna be bought off by the donor class. What is the point? So this is a message to keep people watching the Young Turks, right? Because they just like, it sucks, everything sucks, whatever, and Biden this and the Democrats this and whatever, and then they just go back to their lives, right? The dysfunction continues, and TYT continues to profit from the demise of this country. Not to the same level of right-wing media. They take this business model to a whole nother disgusting degree, but who cares? It's not a competition for who can be the most disgusting, right? I'm just saying the reality, the facts of the matter. And the fact of the matter is we do have a democracy and it does work, right? So back to my analogy. So because most people didn't read the full letter, they're not aware of actually what's required, right? So therefore, we don't get the 34% of people that need to take the letter to their dealership to pick up their car, right? And that is a prerequisite for it to work. And since not enough people do it, so it actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. All of those people online making money from telling you whatever, this democracy doesn't work and this and that, and Trump, look what Trump did, all those people, right, who sat there and tell you we don't have a democracy, by them putting that in your head, they almost made it a reality. But it's still not a reality. Because if everyone could be informed, if we could make everybody read this letter, in my analogy, read the letter, see what it says, then I guarantee you we would get that 34% to go out to their dealerships with a letter to claim their cars, and that's the prerequisite, right? So therefore, once that 34% does that, then everybody can now get it. Because again, that was the rule. The thing said 34% of people need to go and walk to your dealership, present this letter. Once we meet that, now everybody that has the letter can go and claim their brand new BMW. That is the way democracy works, right? And just to be more clear, right? So what is the process? In this process that I gave you, it's the letter and 34% of people. The process with democracy is that we are in the driver's seats. We are ones that have the most power. So if you want more gun control regulations to be put in place, the way that you make that happen is very, very easy. Again, it's just a matter of you have to allow people to read the letter, right? In my analogy, right? Once people read it, it's simple, right? So we need to get this information from people like TYT, get it out of people's heads, let them know the truth, and then what happens? Once they realize it's just a matter of voting, right? Once there is a massive political price for not addressing the gun control issue, all of a sudden, like magic, poof, they all of a sudden they start making, they started doing things, right? Now, at first, just because we've been corrupt for so long, at first they're gonna do a little something, a little around the edges, right? But if you continue to punish them, right? If they continue to lose elections, right? And they continue to get the message of, listen, the people have spoken. They say you need to do something about this or we're not voting for you. All of a sudden, like magic, you're gonna see how democracy works. But until that happens, and that is us using democracy, right? Not just giving away your votes, right? They make promises and you okay, all right, I hope you, no. Voting is the first step. The next step is to follow up and put pressure. You have to push and fight to make it happen. And if you just voting and going home, you're wasting your time. And that is the reason why things are the way they are. Not because we don't have a democracy, but because we refuse to use it. Another analogy I like to give for democracy is like a big, powerful gun, right? And it's a powerful weapon, right? And whatever the problems are in this country, that's the black bear, right? Not trying to be racist, but it's a black bear, okay? Black bear is approaching, and most Americans are standing there with this powerful weapon called democracy. This gun with the barrel that says not Palestine, but democracy. A small portion of the people that have this weapon, because we all have it, they actually load the weapon with bullets, right? They put bullets in their shotgun, their democracy gun. That's the equivalent of you voting, right? I have democracy. I voted, right? I loaded. I voted. I loaded, right? Put bullets in the gun. Put bullets in my democracy. Then as the bear approaches, they're just standing there waiting for democracy to magically save them. The bear devours them, and then people say, we don't have a real democracy, right? Everybody had their democracy, and the bear killed us anyway. It doesn't work. It's not a real thing. You can't just load the bullets. You have to actually lift the barrel off the ground, aim it at the bear, and pull the trigger. If you don't pull the trigger, it's useless. Who cares? Yeah, I got a big bad gun. I got my democracy gun. It's gonna save me. It's not gonna save you. It's gonna enable you to save yourself. Democracy enables us to save ourselves. Democracy enables us to change things ourselves. The way we do that is through active and aggressive participation in our electoral process, where we don't remain trapped, where we're so afraid of the other party that basically whoever we vote for doesn't have to do anything, right? Because at the end of the day, they could lie to us, make empty promises, but we're going to keep coming to the polls and voting for them anyway because you don't want the other guy. When you break from that, that enables you to have the courage to not just hold this gun hoping it's going to save you, but to actually realize you have to save yourself. You have to not just load the gun, right? Voting. You have to actually raise the gun, aim the gun, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger on these politicians. If they don't deliver, vote them out. Keep voting them out until they get the message, and you're going to see some magic. It's not really magic. It's common sense, right? You know, you can't just say don't speed and people won't speed. You got to incentivize people to not speed, right? And it's called tickets, right? People, for fear of getting tickets and the cost of whatever, I mean, you could talk about that it's exploitative, whatever it is, and I'm sure some of it is, but it does have a deterrence, right? If people knew that they could speed and get away with it, more people would speed, right? So it's nothing complicated. If you want our politicians to do what you want, you got to incentivize them to do so. And you don't incentivize them by giving them free votes with no consequence, right? I'm just going to vote for you, and if you deliver, great. If you don't, well, I'll be there next election to vote for you again. We do have democracy, and democracy does work. But what is the power of a thing that you're not aware of? If I am entitled to $100 million, but I don't realize it, I don't know that this is true, and I don't know what I need to do to claim it. I do have the money. I mean, in terms of I have the money, it is my money. I am entitled to it. I can get it any moment. But without the knowledge of this, it's almost as if I don't even have the money, right? So we have democracy, but if you don't understand how it works, it can't really do much for you. And that is the big part of the problem. Education, right? This is the baby channel. Debate me, comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. The Young Turks, you're wrong. Please stop misinforming your audience. We do have a democracy. It absolutely works, right? But we're the ones in the driver's seat. We have to make it work ourselves. right? Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, right? No one's coming to save us. We don't got no savior. We're the saviors. Get engaged, aggressively engaged. And I'm going to talk about how Democratic voters don't do this in a future video. I've been going to city council meetings and I see how, you know, there's liberals and progressives and I called out the mayor to his face. He says I was disrespectful. And the liberals in the community said I was too aggressive. They're so used to this, you know, meek, soft, could you please, pretty please? They're so used to that, like I told them, that wasn't me being aggressive. It's coming. It's coming. They're going to see what aggressive looks like. But what I said to the mayor, what I said to the council, that's not me being aggressive. We'll talk about that in a future video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. And until next time, this is the Baby Channel. You do have a democracy. It works, but it's not self-service. Got to actually use it. And using it is not just voting. That's only the first step.